truth talk, you don't need hundreds of subscribers here on YouTube to book more clients or to sell more of your digital products. If done right, with the right YouTube strategy, you could book a client by just publishing one YouTube video. In fact, I have proof of multiple clients of mine who have experienced this, like Zoe, who made $200 after publishing one video, Monica, who increased traffic to her site after just a few videos on YouTube, or like Jane, who can contribute at least $10,000 made in her business because of YouTube. And she only has around 1,000 subscribers on her channel. But this is just the beginning of why, as an online business owner, whether you're selling one-on-one services, done-for-you services, or digital products like templates and courses, that YouTube is critical for your business success. Because the real power of YouTube, and one of the biggest reasons why your business needs to have a YouTube channel, is because it creates pool content. What the heck is pool content? Well, most of the social media content that you're creating is push content. You're pushing it on people. Instagram Reels, TikTok, Stories, you're pushing it on everybody. And that's why it is so hard to stand out on social, because it's all push content being thrown in our faces all the time. But when you go to YouTube or Google, because YouTube videos show up on Google, and we're going to talk more about that here in a moment. But when you go to Google and you search something, you're typically looking for a solution for your problem. You're typing in how to customize my website. You're typing in what to say on your YouTube video. You're actively trying to solve the problem that you currently have. The content that then rises to the top is pool content, meaning you're pulling that content out. You're selecting that content. It's not being slammed in your face day in and day out. You are selecting what you are watching. And this is when your potential clients, your students to your online course, are most ready to buy. Because if they watch your video that is going to solve the problem that they have, they're obviously going to be excited and happy and want to learn how can they work with you more, or what other problems that you have around this particular niche can you help solve for them. Thus, they're going to be more active in looking in what is that next step with you. Do you have a course, a lead magnet, a webinar, right? And this type of content eliminates so much competition, because if we're honest, everybody and their grandmother is over on Reels or TikTok, and they're all vying for your audience's attention as well. So you have got to be really great at your content. You've got to create hooks that are going to stop them immediately to lean in and listen before they scroll away. You've got to be posting a lot of content so it's constantly being pushed on them. And you've really got to do something epic that is going to stop them from scrolling, grab their attention, and watch your content, just due to the massive amount of content that they see on social media every single day. But with pool content over on YouTube, you have their attention when they need you the most. This is why you could have a YouTube video from 5 years ago still sending leads to your business, still building your email list to this day. In fact, this video of mine from 2019 in 2023 still gets me new email subscribers every single day. I don't know about your Instagram strategy or your TikTok strategy, but I'm going to go on a ledge here and say no Reel, no Instagram post, no TikTok from 4 years ago is still generating leads to your business, which easily leads me into another very important reason why you need to have a YouTube channel as an online business owner, and it's evergreen content. I mean, aren't you tired of creating so much freaking content on Instagram or TikTok or wherever you're hanging out these days? Why are you spending so much time on these platforms? The reason why you're spending so much time on these social platforms is because they have such a small lifespan. Instagram posts and Reels on average live about 20 hours. TikTok's lifespan is even less than that. LinkedIn's content, now this is a long one, lives for about 24 hours. But when you create content for YouTube, the average lifespan for that video is at least 8 days. So the reason why you feel like you're on a hamster wheel over on Instagram and TikTok creating content is because you have to keep feeding it to keep it going, because it expires so fast. After 20 hours, if you don't post something new, you're going to see your engagement and your comments and all your likes and your traffic to your site go down, because you got to feed it again another 20 hours and then again another 20 hours. Whereas with a solid strategy on YouTube, having a YouTube channel for your business, you can post once a week and live off of that content for 7 days. I mean, I have examples that will show you the truth. This is some of my top performing YouTube videos right now. And as you can see, they're not the most recent videos. They are older videos of mine. And when you look at one of my clients, you can see she has some brand new videos that are driving traffic to her site, but she also has tied in there older videos as well. Now, your older Instagram reels aren't going to do this unless by chance the algorithm picks it up, and the same thing with TikTok. So why not consider putting your time into content, into a platform where you're not having to feed it every day? Side note, probably why I don't have any pets right now. And you may have heard me allude to this a little bit earlier. This video that you create on YouTube also has the opportunity to show up on Google, the #1 search engine in the world. And so many of us are looking at ways that we can SEO our business to show up on Google. And all it takes is to create a YouTube video that is quality content, and then not only can you have that video show up in Google for all the keywords that you want it to show up for, you can embed it into a blog post, and your blog post, your website, then shows up on that front page as well. So you've gone from like no hits on the front page of Google to creating one YouTube video, turning it into a blog, and potentially 2 hits for any keyword that you want to show up for on Google. And that, my friend, is going to last a lot longer than posting 3 TikToks a day. But let's talk a little bit more about this SEO power, because the next thing I want to talk about is the most important reason you need to have a YouTube channel for your online business. And that's trust and authority. Let's be real. We all have trust issues these days. And as AI continues to rise and we start to worry about the robot world, people are really taking time to think about, who am I buying from? And let's be honest, we're more and more concerned about being scammed than ever before. I don't know how many texts that you have received today that is spam text, but I'm going to tell you, it's pretty annoying. But being on video builds trust. Seeing you talk about the thing that you are promising you can help them with helps build your authority. It also differentiates you, because I'm going to assume you are not the only person talking about your niche, and you're not the only person offering one-on-one services or courses on your topic. But the way you do what you do and how you do what you do is unique and differentiates you from everybody else. And it's why people will buy from you versus the other people that are doing something similar. And I hear this all the time in my business, because one thing that I want to truly understand in my business is how I can serve my audience better. So we are always sending out surveys to get feedback from people. And one of the questions that we ask is, why do you follow Trena? Or why did you buy from Trena? And I always get, every single time, it is the way she teaches. I like the way she explains things, and I like her personality. I'm also able here in my videos to incorporate being a mom and that perspective of creating video content as a mom and running a business as a mom, so that my audience can relate to me, because I teach different strategies and tactics for women who are juggling a lot of things on their plate, where that resonates with them. There are absolutely other YouTube strategists out there, other business coaches out there talking about the same thing as I am, but the unique perspective that I have as a female, as a mom, is what differentiates me, and is why people want to work with me or want to buy from me. It's because they can make that connection, and they know that's who they want to learn from. So if you're finding it really hard to differentiate yourself, or stand out in your niche, you've got to be putting yourself on video. Your personality and the style in that you teach are the things that are going to make you break out of that sea of people and make your audience say, that's who I want to buy from. That's who I want to work with. Now, what I'm about to share with you could ultimately be the number one reason why you need to have your YouTube channel started for your online business like now. And it's because YouTube becomes your number one piece of content, and the rest of your content falls in line with your YouTube strategy. So when you start your content strategy with YouTube, you're going to be putting all your eggs in the longest living evergreen piece of content that you can create. Oh yeah. And I think it goes without saying, it's searchable content as well. This is where you're going to get the best ROI on content that you create. And I will be real with you, you're not going to see instant ROI on a YouTube video. YouTube is long term. It is a long game here, but in the end, YouTube will be a higher ROI than pumping out 5 TikToks a day. Because when you look at this graph that I created, it's basically how compounding interest works, but it's also how compounding YouTube content works. So as you put out a few videos, you're gonna get a few views on it. But as you start putting out more videos, more views are happening on these videos, and you're also getting more views on older videos. So it has this compounding effect just like interest does. So while your most recent video may only get a couple hundred views across the board for that day, you may have thousands of views because people are finding different videos at different points of the day and watching potentially multiple videos from you. Now here's where it gets really powerful, because if you start with your YouTube video, you now have content for all the other platforms that you want to be on. Because listen, I get it. You want that quick dopamine hit. Posting a video on YouTube and getting a couple views in an hour or in a day just doesn't do it for you. But posting a reel and getting 1,000 views and maybe a couple hearts, now that feels good. Instead of just blowing all your time on content that expires, let's focus on that YouTube video first so we can set it here to start doing that compounding interest thing. And then take the content that you created for your YouTube video. So currently I have a script that I created for this video. I'm gonna take the information that I created for this script and create reels or TikToks around that content. So I can get that quick dopamine hit of views and likes, but I'm also setting my content up for success later down the road by putting more time into my YouTube videos. Now, I really want to distinguish here as well. I'm not talking about taking your video from YouTube and splicing it up and throwing it on Instagram. I'm talking about taking the content that you created and making native reels or native TikToks, because I'm going to tell you from what we are seeing in the industry and the trends we are seeing, repurposing YouTube videos over on those platforms are not going to get you the best dopamine hit. So if you really want to utilize and get the most leg out of your content, put your video on YouTube, then pull your phone up after you shoot your YouTube videos and do a couple reels based on the content that is on that script. You can now use this video for blog content like I talked about earlier. You can now use this YouTube video as newsletter content so that you can get consistent in emailing your people as well. And it just allows you to have a consistent theme of content on whatever social media platform you have for an entire week. Because I could take this YouTube video, which I will, and probably create 4 to 5 reels from it. I will also have a blog post on it. I will also send a newsletter about it. And that will be the exact topic that I talk about for the entire week on my social platforms, so that my audience isn't confused anywhere they find me on what I'm talking about this week. It's also going to eliminate any panic that I have on what am I going to post this week, or oh, I got to send an email newsletter out. What is it going to be? It all goes back to your number one, your YouTube video. When you start with a solid YouTube strategy that will live for months, possibly even years to come, and then use that on shorter lifespan platforms, that's when you eliminate the stress, the overwhelm, and get off of that feeling of the content creation hamster wheel. Because you're thinking end game here. You're thinking future, long term, and not having to feed it every 24 hours. Now, 2 things here real quick. My entire process for getting started creating consistent video content, including my YouTube script template, my video workflow, how I film and edit my reels, is all inside my program, Going Video. So if you're ready to get serious with your video content and start putting your eggs into a longer form content so you don't have to feed the Instagram and the TikTok wheel every 24 hours, go to TrenaLittle.com/going video to get this program for just $37. Secondly, I am starting a series here on my YouTube channel that is going to focus on more ways and the steps to start using YouTube in your business. What specific questions do you have, or what topics would you like to see here on my channel over the next coming weeks when it comes to using YouTube, balancing with your content plan, how it generates leads to your online business? Any and all questions are totally up for discussion. Leave them down in the comments below. And don't worry, if you're wondering, Trena, how the heck am I going to get started here on YouTube starting at zero? Check out this video that's on your screen right now where I walk you through the exact steps to go through, even if you're starting from zero here on YouTube.